Drake May's wife put up some recipe on something that she's cooking, and all the comments are, feed our man. Keep doing it, baby. Great work. We love you. Thanks for keeping him full.
One loss and they'll turn on it.
Keep Drake happy.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outback Quarterback Podcast for another week. Always a big week in NFL football, and we are running you through everything that's going on. It's our State of the Union, mid-season, or partly past mid-season, stock take episode. It's a little different today. I'm Kurt, your QB3. We've got Holy, our QB2. We got Dos, our QB1. And boys, I'm excited about this. We're going to go through every division, rather than reviewing every single game in depth like we normally do. Every division and just where they're at. What's going on? Who are the contenders still? Who's fallen out of contention? What's good, bad, and ugly? Because there's a fair bit of all of that.
Who's heavily disappointed us?
People that have disappointed us, and not just in this room. We're talking NFL.
No one's disappointed me in this room.
No, but people that have pleasantly surprised us, including people in this room. No, we're going through players and teams that have hit both of those categories. We're going to revisit our Super Bowl predictions. I didn't really like hearing back what mine was. I don't know if you can remember mine, Dos, but I'll tell you that later.
I know mine. I can't remember yours. I know someone that had Big D over here.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I had him.
And what was his Super Bowl prediction?
That they win.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, it's just unlucky. They've had an unfortunate year.
Unlucky. You just got a bad roster. That's really bad luck.
Offense is okay.
Waiting to bounce back against the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
They can still make playoffs. You watch.
Yeah, they can. We're also going to look at our MVP predictions as well, and then we'll end the show the way we always end the show. But boys, a bit of a special announcement. We have on the Muscle Cat Sports Show this weekend our first ever Ashes watch-along, because the Ashes start on Friday, and there is a big prize that the people can win. Jimbo, we talked about this on the sports show last night.
We've got some cards.
Yes, we do have some cards from the good people at Sports Card World, who have been a very loyal, supportive partner of us, Matt and the crew down there at Regent Arcade in Adelaide. This is a $210 box of cards. $210. It's the 2025-2026 Lux cricket trading cards. There's Ashes moments in here. There are signatures. So you can get some stuff that's really worth something in here. This is up for grabs if you watch on Saturday night the night session of the Perth Test from 6 o'clock South Australian time, 6:30 Victoria, New South Wales, on the Muscle Cat Sports Show YouTube. If you subscribe and if you comment, you're in the running. Even better, if people call in, because it's a live call-in show, it's 5 bonus entries. So if you get involved, you're a real chance of winning $210 worth of awesome cricket cards. And also it'll be fun. We're just going to watch the Ashes along with Alex. Jimbo will be here as well.
I thought this was Friday night. It changed from Friday to Saturday.
Yeah, it changed. Oh, can you do Saturday?
Oh, I could have.
Oh, you can call in.
I couldn't do Friday, but I could do Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
But that's okay. I'd rather try to win the cards.
I'll also be entering for the cards.
I'll just keep calling up.
Just back to back.
Holy, you can come.
No, I want to win the cards.
Why don't you come?
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
That'd be good. The more the merrier. Dos, if you can make a Saturday too, let's get you involved.
Yeah, I have to check what's going on. Because Friday night was a little tricky with kids and finishing off the week and all that
boys,
sort
you're
of stuff.
welcome. Hey,
Saturday,
we got mics galore. Come along.
Open house.
Yeah. If we get 4 of
Open house.
Might invite the neighbours.
Open invite.
Get it on Instagram.
Put a little Facebook post up, public profile. Who was the guy that had the
Corey.
glass?
Corey.
Worthington. That's right. If you can get up the driveway, you can come to the studio. That's the deal.
Yeah, just stand up there with a hose if too many people come. You don't need security. You just need a hose.
Perfect. Well, that's the Ashes watch along. You are all welcome to watch. You're not all welcome to come to my house, but you can watch. These boys might be coming, it turns out. So beautiful. I'll have you guys along. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Muscle Cat Sports Show channel. Now, we also have all sorts. We've got 4 Bros Coffee. It's code Outback Jimbo for 15% off. Dos, you're enjoying yours this morning.
Certainly am. Which blend have I got this morning?
You've got the Settler blend this morning.
Not the Dawn blend.
Not the
Settler.
Dawn. Is it good?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's a real early pick-me-up, isn't it?
Had another iced latte on Saturday afternoon as well. Just brewed that a couple of hours before.
Yep.
Popped it in the fridge and then added the ice and milk after. And it was very fantastic. Great little afternoon while I was watching the Pistons get another win.
Oh, yeah, massive Pistons fan, apparently. Now that they're top.
Pass.
Massive Pistons. I've never once heard him mention the Detroit Pistons. Never once. And now they're 9 wins in a row, and he's all about the Pistons.
What, Detroit? Because they're Detroit?
Yeah. What do you mean? Because I've been to Pistons games. I've been a Detroit fan since the late 90s.
Who's their third best player?
I would say that would be
Manute Bol.
or Sar Thompson.
Oh yeah, nice. He could have just said anything, but that sounded convincing.
Yeah, I don't know any of their
Yeah.
players.
Okay.
Hey,
Cade first, and then
new
Jalen
sponsor
Duran second.
announcement as well. Underground Civil Supplies.
Oh, the hat!
There it is.
He's got I was gonna say it's a sick looking hat,
It's
and
a
I did not know
sick
that was
hat.
your sponsor.
I've got 5 of them.
Dude.
4 hats, a beanie, some other bits and pieces.
Now this is your personal sponsor.
This is my personal sponsor.
This is not a sponsor
So,
of Muscle Cat Media. We've not
who
seen
is
a
it,
dime.
Dos?
Adam Bell,
Adam
Belly,
Bell.
one of our loyal listeners. I think he's up on the Central
They
Coast.
provide underground civil supplies.
Sweet.
Nice.
If you
You're
ever
looking
need
for
some,
If
underground
anyone
civil
here
supplies.
needs some underground civil supplies,
now, Holly,
Uh,
what is an underground civil supply?
it's like
Supplies that are civil. If you're
supplies
underground.
for civil builds. Yeah,
Cool.
What do you mean, sandbags?
Sure, they'll be rolling in the
Sanded
business.
silk bags,
Earthen
I like
crimps?
conduits. Yeah, conduit.
All right.
Like
Now,
running.
we're going to stop this ad
electrical
because this is
wires.
not actually an ad that's sponsored by Muscle Cat Media. They just gave Hawley a hat, right? They're not actually a partner
A
of the
lot of
show.
hats.
A lot of hats. Well,
Oh yeah, conduit
all the gear they
fittings.
do.
all right, that's
Then
enough.
the
We're not
extra
actually
stuff, cable
promoting them.
cover,
They're not sponsors of the
bedding
show.
sand. Like, they
Turn off his
sponsor me.
mic. Mute him. Mute him. Mute him. We got real sponsors of the show, not just UCS, but good on your belly. Suburban Brew. We've got our Super Bowl show coming up, so don't forget that. That'll be coming up. We are shooting an ad for 4 Bros as well. Jimbo, some of your finest work. Gee, we've got a lot of stuff to get through. Who else have we got? Oh, Wayne Phillips. We are rolling in it, aren't we? Wayne Phillips, Kia. Dos, that's a nice hat. Oh, you're not allowed to wear that
well,
hat, are you?
I don't have the hat over here. But,
Well, you took it off last time because I don't think you're allowed to wear it.
well, no, I
technically.
had it on for a little while.
You did have it on for a little while. Good people. Cash back across the range
They
there
are.
at the moment. And that's it. All right. Oh, no. Coast and
Coast
Smoke.
and Smoke.
Coast and Smoke. I forgot Coast and Smoke. We have our Kansas City cook up on the 6th of December. Jimbo, you're getting that sorted, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Now,
Buy some meat.
Jimbo, I got the K-pop
Hey.
rub out, and we
Bit
dusted
of
it.
chicken.
Well, yes, and we also dusted it over some sweet potato fries too.
Whee!
Came up very good.
Nice.
Dos, he
Yeah.
lives for the sponsors, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Lives for them. You're a good man. Oh, the last thing,
It's
for
good
the
product.
3rd time I need to mention 4 Bros because we are doing a giveaway. 2 kilograms of coffee, boys.
Oh,
2 kilograms.
that's a good early Christmas present. Thanks.
Good luck getting that down the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of beans, or 100 pods, depending on what machine the people have. We will be announcing that, or that'll go live on Friday on our socials. So,
Awesome.
yeah, big giveaway coming. Big giveaway. You can win a lot. All right. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everyone listening because we are getting into some NFL. Let's just go straight into it. We won't worry about the music and things today, Jimbo. We're just going to go through the scores, and then we've got our State of the Union. So, we do need to get one graphic up on screen because Hawley's already seen this, but man, we bounced back.
We
Hawley's
did.
faith in us.
Yeah.
4 of 4 no-brainers, and boy, did we need that. Get it up there, Jimbo.
Where are we now on the career completion percentage? So we're at 65.
That sounds more Matt Stafford than Anthony Richardson, doesn't it?
That's probably career highs for a lot of quarterbacks.
That's career highs for a lot of quarterbacks.
We're
So-
talking records now.
It's covering my face, but it's worth it. 13 of 20. So we got the Jets. The Pats beating the Jets 27-14. We predicted that as a no-brainer. The Packers 27 over the Giants 20. Made me nervous, Dos.
Nah,
Made me nervous.
it was safe.
But
I
we
was
got
getting
there.
hammered in the 4th quarter by text messages and all sorts as well from Giants fans, but
Yep.
managed to scrape over the line, get it done.
All right, Jimbo, you can get my face back on screen, please.
Sure.
Have a look at it. There we go. Now I know how Dos feels in the wide shot for the intro. The Ravens we had beating the Browns 23-16. Thank you, Shador Sanders, for being awful.
Oh,
4 of 16.
Wow.
4 of
That
16,
might-
47 yards and interception.
it might have been the worst ever debut from a quarterback.
It's pretty bad.
Technically didn't start though,
Yeah, true.
so yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Still is his,
Wasn't
It
great.
was still his debut.
Yeah.
Debut.
You always like
Debut.
to go by the game started though, don't you, Hawley?
That's
No.
true.
Let's see
well-
how he goes this week because he'll start this week with
All
Gabriel and
Who
concussion.
have they got this week?
I haven't actually looked that far ahead yet.
We'll get to
Go
our-
ahead.
We'll do our no-brainers later
Yeah.
for week 12. And Texans beat the Titans, which is what we had 16-13.
Just-
So yeah, we scraped through, but we got 4 of 4.
What was our other option? Didn't Dos want a different option?
I can't
Did
remember
you
what
want a
it was.
different one?
Not sure. Well, we got 4 out of 4. That's
Yeah.
all that matters. The other
Take
games
that.
in Spain, the Dolphins. The Dolphins are starting to get in a bit of form. 16-13 overtime win. The Panthers, another overtime win over the Falcons. Divisional. They weren't convincing, but Bryce.
Franchise record.
Yeah, yards machine. Bryce Young, 468.
Where did that come from? 458 or
Yeah, something like
448?
that, yeah.
Where did that come from, considering how the Panthers' offenses look for the last month.
I know.
They don't mind playing against Atlanta though. 30-0 earlier in the season at home, and now 30-27 on the road.
Still get it done. Yeah, it's a big win because they're still in playoff contention. We'll talk about the NFC South.
Well, it is, and Michael Pennick's now out for the rest of the season with a partially torn ACL.
And Drake London too, probably.
Drake London is a PCL, so that's going to be multiple weeks.
Yeah, that's probably season at this point. They're done
I
at 3-7.
wouldn't see why you'd bring him back.
No. Me neither.
Could feature in the disappointing teams a bit later, the Atlanta Falcons, I think.
Oh, well,
what
a surprise.
We probably should have spoken about this.
What's that? Oh, no.
I got others.
We'll get there. Let's keep rolling through.
Teams.
Let's keep rolling through. The Bears 19 defeated the Vikings 17. They just keep coming back from nowhere. The Bears 7-3, those boys. The Vikings 4-6. It's almost like they shouldn't have moved on from a quarterback who took them 14-3 in the regular season last year. Weird. Chargers 6 got smashed by the Jags 35-6. Herbert was awful. They were all terrible. What a shocking performance. The Jags, and Trevor Lawrence still wasn't that good, and they put up 35 points. The running game, 4 touchdowns for the Jags. Real concern for the Chargers, Doss. What the heck is going on there?
Justin Herbert does not like going to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars.
Why?
I'm not sure why. He just never wins there. The playoff loss, and this was a bad loss as well. So,
was he ever sore going in?
Who?
Herbert, he did have a little questionable next to him.
He's always sore. Get on with it, Herbert.
I mean,
quarterback's always sore,
he's getting smashed. He's got no offensive line at the moment. But given how Jacksonville finished the game last week against Houston, and how the Chargers had been playing, which was a lot better, no one saw this coming. It's just a weird one. And if you're a Chargers fan, they got the bye this week. You're just wiping that away as like we're regrouping for the second half of the season, which is tough. They got the Raiders next, but then after that, they got a tough run to finish. But
that's the AFC West for you. We've got the Bills 44 defeating the Bucs in Buffalo, 44-32 in a shootout there. The Bengals and the Steelers got it done easy, 34-12. And Aaron Rodgers' wrist injury, though, did mar that one for the Steelers. We saw Mason Rudolph, who reminds us that he exists every
crack or a break. So
left wrist, though, not throwing wrist.
Well, okay.
So, I mean, that makes a difference. But
it's probably still not playing this week.
49ers 41 defeated the Cardinals 22. Jacoby Brissett with a record 47. We had somebody write in on the live sports show yesterday saying, "Can we give Jake Brisket some love?" Jacoby Brissett,
he's been good.
Yeah, 47 completions record.
He's thrown 2 TDs every week he's played. Like for the last, he played 4 in a row now?
I think so. Yeah,
4 or 5. He's actually put up some. When I say good, he's put up some numbers.
And he had like 113 passes without an interception until yesterday.
He did. Yeah.
The Arizona offense has looked so much better. I know that it's still not winning than what it did when Kyler Murray was there.
I think because Jacoby can see his receivers.
He can see them.
Yeah, he can actually see them over the defensive line.
Michael Wilson,
15 for 185.
Wowzers.
Trey McBride, 10 for 115 and a TD.
Since Jacoby Brissett,
and they lost by 19 points, boys. Let's not lose sight of that.
No, they got smashed last week on the defensive side of the ball to the Seahawks, but they have been disappointing. But the offense, I mean, it just goes to show how bad they were performing.
Yeah.
When you think back, that they still lost to the Tennessee Titans.
And very quickly, we talk about Jonathan Taylor MVP form. Christian McCaffrey is in genuine MVP form at the moment.
Give us a stat line.
I don't have a stat line, but he is everything he's doing. Oh, heck, here we go. He's on track for 2,220 yards, 17 TDs.
Wow.
Well, the fact that
that's your Hawley's Hero stat line from a few years ago.
Christian McCaffrey has basically put the team on his back this season. There's really Mac Jones has been there, had some moments. Brock Purdy's been injured. George Kittle's been injured, and you can go through the offensive line injuries and the other injuries to the receivers. Ricky Pearsall, he's been the constant this season and has just carried the team on his back.
Yesterday, I had 3 more touchdowns and 121 all-purpose yards.
Mm-hmm. They're a sneaky chance come playoffs, the Niners.
Oh, they are. And they're 7-4.
That's what I mean. You wouldn't want to play them.
Pearsall gets back.
McCaffrey can go off. Brock Purdy back now. Looked pretty good yesterday, I thought.
Throw Brandon Ayuk in towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm still not. I'm not as sold on Ayuk. I think I'd rather Ricky Pearsall in the team.
Seahawks and Rams in an important game, 21-19. Darnold turned into a turnover, Sammy Darnold, which he hasn't been for a long time now. But the Rams are 8-2. We will talk more about them. The Chiefs and the Broncos, a big win for the Broncos. It looked like the Chiefs would nab it there at the end, but the Broncos were able to get it done 22-19. They're 9-2, the Bronx. 8 wins in a row, and the Chiefs are losing touch. We will talk about the Chiefs.
Chiefs now a 57% chance to make the playoffs, and they got the Colts this week.
And then the Cowboys.
And that is at home.
Ooh,
but they've got the Texans as well.
Where'd you get 57% from? Is that your own
Made it up.
calculations?
No, it's
It's Warren.
He asked his kids, "Hey, what do you think the Chiefs will do this rest of the year?"
5-5 in a crowded AFC wildcard spot.
Oh, yeah.
You're no better than a 50-50 chance. So,
Well, you are. You're 57%.
all right, 57%, sure. How confident are you in your Chiefs at the
About
moment?
57%.
Yeah, 57.
Let's talk about it later.
What if they'd lost to the Cleveland Browns?
If they had lost to the Cleveland Browns, 0%. Why? Why do you ask that?
Oh, because Green Bay lost to them, so he's.
Oh,
just
yeah.
bringing that up.
Didn't bother Doss at all.
Didn't bother.
We will talk the Chiefs in our State of the Union. We've got Cowboys at Raiders today, and the teams on byes are Colts and Saints. Let's get into the State of the Union. AFC East, boys. We'll start there. I've broken it up into contenders and non-contenders for each division. There are 2 contenders in this in the AFC East. The Pats.
there are.
New England Patriots. Do you want to get the standings up there, Jimbo, the NFL standings? Patriots 9-2. There they are. Patriots 9-2. Bills 7-3. They're the 2 that are still in it. The Pats have won 8 in a row. And then the Dolphins 4-7. The Jets 2-8. Yes, technically the Dolphins can still make playoffs, but they won't. However, has Mike McDaniel done enough to save his job? If they win a few more, maybe.
Just keep jagging a win every 3 weeks.
I think we spoke about it last week. And their run, they've got the Saints next week. Then they've got the Jets. That can easily be 4 in a row.
Could be.
And then that takes them to 6 and 7, and they're right.
They won't make playoffs, but
No, they won't.
They finish with Bengals, Bucs, and Pats. They'd have to beat Bengals, who I think that'll be a Joe Burrow-led Bengals.
Steelers away in there.
And Steelers away. And then you've got the Bucs, who should hopefully have some weapons back by then. So
sorry, I just keep banging my
it's unlikely,
mug
but
and drink bottle.
I think their record will actually be respectable by the end of the year.
Yeah, they'll just be outside of the playoffs.
They will. But let's talk the Pats. They're the team that have surprised me the most. We'll start right there because I think we all did, the Mike Vrabel appointment over Gerard Mayo. We saw some stability coming. We liked the progression of Drake May. The rookie year was good enough, encouraging enough. I thought there would be an uptick, but I thought it would take more time than this. I did not think we would be talking about an 8-game win streak, 9-2 record, and one of those losses was week 1 against the Raiders. Like, you take that out as an outlier, which I think we can safely say it is now, like Baltimore last year in week 2.
Yep.
Then this team is a serious team. There's no fluking here. They are good on both sides of the ball when it matters.
A lot of pundits have spoken about how easy the schedule's been, and I haven't played anyone, haven't played a defense, and they're right. They've had the second easiest schedule to date,
Sure.
and they finished the year with the 9th easiest schedule. So it doesn't get a whole lot more difficult for the Pats, but they've still delivered when they've needed. Like, they still beat the Bucs, who are a decent team. They've knocked off the Bills, who, you know, a Josh Allen led Bills is a pretty
Away
is a pretty nice win. They're winning, and that's all you can ask of them. And like you said, they've improved on the offense, they've improved on the defense. You'd expect them to beat the Bengals next week. You'd expect them to beat the Giants. They play the Bills at home, and then it's the Ravens. Then they've got the Jets and Dolphins. Like, there aren't many games here that are too dangerous for the Pats to finish the year off. You'd expect them to probably finish up as the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Well, that's a real chance now.
Yeah.
That is a real possibility. Yeah, I didn't expect us to be in this position. They've got a quiet confidence under Vrabel, and that's.
He just say expect us? Is he a Pats man now?
Did I say us?
He did say
sorry.
He's jumped on the Pats.
Sorry. Can I just say?
I think he meant us, as in
No,
sitting
I
here.
don't think that's what he meant.
Sorry. Normally, when
Chiefs 5-5.
when we hear the words number 1 seed in the AFC, I just assume we're talking about Kansas City. That's just my reflex. My
I think
apologies.
KC are like 10th at the moment.
Yeah, it's not good. We'll get there.
57% chance.
Dos, Bills, Pats. Bills, any chance of knocking the Pats off in this division? They're 2 wins behind them.
I mean, you'd never say no chance. They need some. Obviously, they've got to beat them in their return game. That's in Foxborough, and when's that, Hawley? Couple weeks time, or towards the end of the season.
Game in hand, by the way. The Bills 7-3 versus 9-2.
Yeah, so that they have that. Looking at but the Patriots still are 3-0 in their division, and the Bills are 2-2.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from a tiebreaker perspective, the Bills really have to get
that Dolphins
up
loss
ahead.
hurts.
Yeah, the Dolphins losses are
The Bills shouldn't lose too many from here. They play the Eagles at home,
tough.
week 17.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they've got Texans at the moment are a bit iffy. They play the Texans away and the Steelers away. Both of those are difficult games, but they should win. Then we're talking Bengals, which actually might be a Joe Burrow-led Bengals, so that's a different look. Mind you, defense is defense. Then they play at the Pats, at the Browns, Eagles, Jets. So there's plenty of games there. They should win, but there are a couple doozies in there.
They've got to beat the Texans this week. That's Thursday night football because CJ Stroud won't be playing in that game.
Come on, Davis.
So
let's not disrespect Davis. He's been doing some things.
Mm-hmm.
So back to your original point, the Patriots I think will win this division from here. I can't see the Bills gaining enough wins and also with the tiebreakers. Drake May has been awesome this season. He'll probably feature a bit later on in a topic of discussion that we may have.
Can you stop giving away all of the things you're going to be talking about later on?
No, I'm not. I said he may feature. I didn't say he will feature. I might do my joke
in a minute just to really ruin everything.
Well,
let's watch the Ashes now while we're here.
If it was on, I would be.
I mean, he's clearly in a top 3 MVP conversation.
Yes.
So, and just the season that he's having is just crazy.
Yeah.
The consistency that they've got on both sides of the ball, defense is playing lights out. The way that Trayvon Henderson has now come into the season, they've got the run game going, which they didn't have at the start of the season. And just the consistency that Drake May is throwing the ball. He doesn't need to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, and they're getting it done just through efficiency, using all of his wide receivers are involved. Stephon Diggs has had an awesome last month.
What are you smiling at? He's smiling away to himself.
Just all the memes I've seen of Drake May and how he's now all of a sudden the Pats have a mobile Tom Brady.
Oh, come on.
Just makes me happy thinking about it.
He's literally in dreamland over there. Look at his little smile.
I've got so many screenshots on my phone.
And he chooses to wear New Orleans Saints stuff today.
I'm a fan of the sport.
You are a fan of the sport.
But the fact that we're getting
That's true.
stuff in our DMs on Patriots, they had a whole of 3 years of dismay down the bottom, and now they're all of a sudden back as being number 1 contenders in their conference.
From dismay to Drake May.
Drake May's wife put up some recipe on something that she's cooking, and all the comments are, "Feed our man, keep doing it, baby, great work, we love you, thanks for keeping him full."
One loss and they'll turn on it.
Keep Drake happy. Yeah.
All right, speaking of losses, let's go to the AFC North, because that's not a division that's been firing, although there is one team that is on a bit of a streak at the moment. That's the Ravens. They're second in the division at 5-5, behind the 6-4 Steelers, but they have won 4 games in a row. What a difference Lamar makes, although they did win a couple without Lamar as well. The Bengals are non-contenders, 3-7, worst defense in the league by points per game, 33.8. That's 3 points worse than the next worst, which is Dallas Cowboys. And yards per game on offense. I know you like your Joe Flacco stat, but for the season they're 23rd yards per game for offense. So they're still not really firing on either side of the ball. They can count them out.
That's Jake Browning's fault.
That's true. We can also count out the Browns, the Cleveland Browns at 2-8. So Steelers, Ravens, who wins the division from here, fellas?
Well, for my gutsy call, I had Baltimore leading the division at the end of this month.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the Ravens. Ravens, Steelers still have to play each other twice, I believe, Hawley. Is that right? I know definitely in the last game of the season they play each other. So I think the Ravens will win this division. They're also 2-0 in the division, so they've got the upper hand at the moment from that side of things. So 1 win behind the Steelers. Lamar didn't have a great game against Cleveland yesterday, but they're getting enough bodies back on both sides of the ball now where injuries aren't a concern, and you're starting to see them play some consistent Baltimore football that we've seen over the last few years. So I think the Ravens will win the division, but it's going to be Steelers will make it interesting.
I don't know if the Steelers will. They play the Bears this week, probably without Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to, if I'm a betting man, I'll probably say the Bears win that. That's in Chicago. Then they play the Bills. Probably going to say Bills knock off the Steelers.
It's at home.
At home. That is at home. Then they play the Ravens. I think the Ravens have them covered at the moment. Their only real winnable game, or 2 games, are probably the Dolphins and the Browns. They have to play at Detroit, and then they obviously finish the season against the Ravens. So I feel like Pittsburgh they're a sneaky chance to miss the playoffs. They're sitting 6-4, but I can see them losing probably 5 or so games from here.
They've not been convincing. They've been just when you think they'll get on a good run in the season, they do something that makes
They could easily go 2-5 and probably miss out.
Yeah.
Well, if they have only 8 wins, they will miss out in the AFC.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, they beat the Colts, then they get smashed by the Chargers, then they
especially if
smash the
Mason
Bengals.
Rudolph is leading them for the next month.
Yeah.
It depends on Rodgers' wrist, I suppose, but yeah, I'm not sold on them just yet. Could this be their first losing season?
Oh, I forgot about that.
They'll find a way to get to 9-8.
Yeah. I mean, they're 6-4. They'll definitely go 9-8.
They'll scrape a win against the Ravens the last game of the year to go 9-9 or 9-8, but miss the playoffs.
They've had a strange year. They've sort of just flown under the radar. It hasn't been a Steelers heavy season, has it? Normally, there's a lot more talk about them.
Because the defense has been bad in most games.
Yeah.
They've leaked a lot of points, so it's not been that traditional way of Steelers football, right? Where we've known TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, these guys to dominate games.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been that type of season for them. They've found ways to win a few ugly games, and there's a couple of games there where they've just defensively been nowhere. The Packers one comes to mind where they got smashed on Sunday Night Football. Thursday Night Football. Colts game was another one. I know they won that, but they leaked a lot of points in that game. Seahawks, they leaked a lot of points too. And even the Jets in week 1, they I know they won that game, but they still conceded 32 points in that game.
Forgot about that game.
You forget about, so consistently or defense, they haven't shown that consistency that we've expected.
That was when we thought, oh, look, Aaron Glenn's fixed the Jets offense. They can finally score points. Cue one of the worst seasons ever.
And now Justin Fields has been benched.
Oh, yes.
We didn't mention that earlier.
No, we didn't.
Surprising.
Yeah. What, 8 weeks too late?
Probably 2 years too late.
Let's go to the AFC South now because you mentioned, Hawley, and this will come up in the AFC West as well. You mentioned that, the Pats will probably be number 1 seed from here. Well, I think the Colts might have something to say about that. They're 8-2, game in hand on the Pats. Number 1 offense points-wise, number 1 offense yards-wise, and for rushing and passing yards individually, they are 3rd in the league. So they have every base covered on offense. This is a real team that can score. And we've seen that with big wins, 8-2. The Jags are still a contender, weirdly, 6-4. 9th in rushing, 20th in passing. So Lawrence is still not having a good year, but they are hanging on. I cannot read this team at all. They're so confusing. And the Texans are 5-5. I'm not saying they're a contender for the division, and I'm not really saying that about the Jags either, but I'm saying they can make playoffs. They're both realistic chances to make playoffs. Then, of course, we've got the Titans at 1-9. But let's talk Colts. As the weeks go on, they still seem a convincing chance to go deep in playoffs and maybe make a Super Bowl run. This is not a fluke at 8-2. They'll have their bumps, but they are in this up to their eyeballs.
Their schedule so far has been pretty favourable, similar to the Pats. The next 2 weeks will probably show us what the Colts have got.
Okay.
At the Chiefs in Kansas. Chiefs, decent defense. Then they play against maybe the best defense in the league in the Texans. So that the next 2 weeks are going to be...
then Jags and Seahawks both away, 49ers.
Both away, yeah. I think the next 2 weeks especially will show us, are the Colts here to stay? Are they here to play? Or have they just beaten down, like a Miami of a few years ago? Have they beaten down on a lot of teams that they're clearly better than? They're well coached. They've got some good weapons now. Daniel Jones is obviously playing well. JT is on fire.
Yep.
Tyler Warren was a great addition. Are these guys going to step up in these tougher games, or are we going to go back to see the standard Colts?
Didn't I say they would go 0-4 in the month of November, and then they lost to the Steelers, beat the Falcons only by 6 points?
Now they've got the Chiefs and Texans. Chiefs away, Texans at home, but a couple of tough games. So that Steelers game is the only real blimp in the sea. I mean, they lost to the Rams, but the Steelers game was the only one where they haven't put up they put up 20 points. Other than that, for the last 6 weeks, they haven't put up anything less than 31 points. So
they can score.
The offense is really rolling.
Can they defend well enough though? That's the question.
Yeah, they are part of a lot of shootouts. I mean, Falcons 31-25,
Yeah.
Chargers put up 24 points, Cards put up 27, Broncos earlier in the year 28, even the Titans put up 20 points. So Steelers and Rams both put up 27. So it's exciting, but the offense at the moment is rolling. They're in shootouts, but they're winning them. So we can't argue. They're playing well.
Sauce Gardner coming because the trade deadline happened after we recorded, so we hadn't really spoken about the Sauce Gardner trade for 2 first round picks. So he's only been there for the one game. That was the game in Atlanta the game against Atlanta in Germany, I should say. DeForest Buckner out for, he's on, I think, 3 or 4 weeks on IR with a neck injury.
Mm-hmm.
I had surgery, I think, on that. So that's going to hurt the run game because he's had a really good season. So that's going to hurt the run defense over the next month or so. They'll have to cover that. But the Colts, their 2 divisional wins, the divisional record is 2-0, and they're both against the Titans.
Yep.
So they still have to play the Texans twice and the Jaguars twice to round out the season. So they do have a tough schedule to finish. Daniel Jones, the last couple of weeks, I think has been sacked 12 times. So that, that's starting to probably regress back a little bit to the mean from where, he was playing for the first sort of half of the season. Don't get me wrong, he's still playing really good football and they've got their bye week at the moment, but the last couple of weeks has not been what the Colts had got out of Daniel Jones for probably the first sort of 7 weeks of the season. So it's just been, their line for the season, I think, was 7.5 wins by memory. So they've already gone past that. It's been so far a highly successful season. They'll play playoffs, which will be great for the city and for the franchise, given the death of Jim Irsay, as before the start of the season. So I like on the way that they're heading, and the Sauce Gardner trade clearly indicates that Daniel Jones is our quarterback and our man going forward. Now we'll see whether long term are we going to get Daniel Jones, because we've seen this sort of before. We saw this happen with the Giants on that playoff run where the Giants went, we're all in on Daniel Jones. He's our man. They paid him, and then it all turned very quickly. I hope that doesn't happen with the Colts. I think they've got a bit better infrastructure.
Other reasons the Giants too.
Yeah, they've got a bit better infrastructure around them. I think there's more talent on both sides of the ball. And Jonathan Taylor having his offensive player of the year conversation, probably with Jackson Smith and Jigba, is just having an all-world season. And that's a big part of Daniel Jones' success this season as well.
You don't trust them as a playoff team, though. I can hear it in your voice. You think they'll get bundled out.
I think they could be out in week 1 of the playoffs.
I could tell.
Mate, Jones is about to get paid again. He's got to sign 2 huge contracts.
Well,
massive one with the Giants. He's about to sign a huge one with the Colts, because if he doesn't, another team will take him.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get a massive contract.
It's going to be big enough. Better than what he was grabbing at the start of the year.
It'll be a Baker Mayfield level contract, is what I think.
For Daniel, considering where Daniel Jones was this time last year, he's about to sign for 40-45 million a year.
So that might be the best way to.
That's only.
That's still massive.
That's not 60 mil a year.
Yeah, that's $45 million is a lot of money compared to where Daniel Jones was
but in terms
last
of
year.
okay, it is. But in terms of market value, it's probably where you would pay him.
Yeah, but that's what Hawley's saying. He's bounced back. If he hadn't had this year, his next contract, he'd be on backup at like $3 million a year.
Yeah, okay. When he said massive contract,
I think 45.
I wanted to put it in relative perspective. It won't be a top 10.
I don't know what you're
contract.
getting paid here, but I'm not getting paid $45 million a year, Doss.
Well, okay.
Maybe it's the best way to do it, Hawley. You show promise as an early draft pick, you get your first team's contract, then your career completely bombs. You look like you're going nowhere, and then you get the public faith back just in time to get that extension.
Everyone
That's the
loves
smartest
you
way
again.
to do it.
How well has he come back? Yeah.
Don't want this consistent rise. You want this.
It's more
Beautiful.
fun.
It's like Kirk Cousins only signing 1-year contracts forever and getting more money that way. All right, let's go to the AFC West, because there's another team that can lay claim. Very quickly. Jags or Texans, who's more likely to win a wildcard spot? Just one word answer.
Jags.
Texans.
Okay.
Can I go to my player that I've been most disappointed in? Because
please.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes. Bad year.
This has not been nowhere near the season we expected from him. Last season, the Jags were awful. They were 4-13, but he was the shining light out of a very poor season, especially the last third of the season where Mac Jones was the starting quarterback. He had 10 games over 80 yards, Hawley, last year, 4 above 100 with 10 touchdowns. This season, now I know he's missed last week, but outside of that, this season, only 2 games over 80 yards. It has been no way near the production that we anticipated. 75 yards per game down to 52.5. It's just been flat for Brian Thomas Jr. And a lot of people were invested in him.
Does
it smell in here? Was that you?
No.
Who's been doing this?
What?
Someone's been dropping.
I can't smell anything.
I can't smell anything.
I don't reckon that's true.
Oh,
You smirked
mate,
back at me when I
smoked. You can't smell anything. I was only smirking at you because you were smirking. I was like, what are you smirking about? Did Dos say something?
Sorry, there is. I think someone's lying.
You know what?
Someone
smelled
said
at Delta.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I would lie.
Right?
All right. I'm going to keep my nose on the case for the
You
rest of this
boys are the ones
episode.
that have been throwing coffees down all morning.
Yeah, you're drinking weak old water out of a mug over there,
Oh,
mate.
wow. Weak out water. It's not going to make you fart.
Don't say the F word on the show, mate.
Malaria
I just
or
alluded
something,
to it. Sorry, Dos.
Nah, I think that's done.
BTJ sucks.
He's not had a good year.
I think he needs to be the number one guy, like the only guy. That's what we saw last year. There was no one else to throw to.
Yeah.
Maybe Mac Jones is a better passer than Trevor Lawrence. Who knows?
Maybe. Also, you mentioned it before, Texans' best defense in the league as far as points per year. So we've got to acknowledge that. And Davis Mills bailing them out of some situations.
Tough finish of the year, though, the Texans.
Will Anderson Jr. had a hand in yesterday's win
true.
again.
That's
Him
true.
and Daniil Hunter, they're just playing on another level at the moment.
All right, AFC West, another team that can lay claim to this number one seed discussion, boys. The Denver Broncos, 9-2, 8 wins in a row. Goodness me, what a season they are having. The Chargers 7-4, they're still in it despite their big loss against the Jags yesterday. And the Chiefs 5-5. For the first time since Patrick Mahomes has been their starter, they are more than 3 games off the pace in their division. That is concerning times. Now, the Raiders are 2-7. We don't need to talk much about them. We know where they'll end up. They've got the Cowboys today. But the Chiefs discussion, we'll start there, and then we'll acknowledge the Broncos for how well they're going. Chiefs is interesting because we've said this a million times. When you have Patrick Mahomes, whether it's in the game in a tough situation or in the season in a tough situation, you always feel like you can be bailed out. You always feel like Mahomes will deliver when it matters the most. That didn't happen yesterday, and it's happening a little less these days with this Chiefs situation. But 5-5, I still have some belief that they can pull this round. But for the last 3 weeks, we've been saying they need to get going, and they haven't really yet. And it's getting late early for the Chiefs.
You have to trust the Chiefs because they've done it before. Like I said, Paddy's always been there. He's still got Trav Kelce. They still have a game in hand as well. I think the big game for them will be when they play the Chargers. They play them at home in about a month's time. If they win their game in hand, that pulls them to 1 game behind the Chargers, and they beat the Chargers, and that pulls them back to even with the Chargers, and that could be what pulls them into the playoffs. And if you come up against the Chiefs in the playoffs, no matter if they're the 1st seed, the 6th seed, the 8th seed, whatever they are, you don't want to play against them because all they need is a couple of Travis Kelce playoff games, a little bit of Mahomes magic, and all of a sudden they find themselves in a championship game.
Yep.
And that's not where any of us want to see them, except for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dos, your thoughts on Broncos v Chiefs?
Yeah, they made a play, the Chiefs, for Breece Hall at the trade deadline. Jets wanted a 3rd-round pick. No one was willing to give that, so they didn't get Breece Hall. They could have used him because the run game. Yeah, I think you'd make that trade.
Yeah, I think you do.
Like, given what you got, Isaiah Pacheco, who's always banged up, Kareem Hunt, can give you a little bit for if you want. Short yardage, but outside of that, the run game is just next to nowhere.
And it's been the Achilles heel for 4 years.
It has.
Yeah. We did that. We did a stat a year or two ago about Super Bowl winning teams with running backs, how their running backs perform throughout the year. And they will never really stand out. Saquon Barkley last year was probably one of the first guys who actually had a real standout running back year, and their team won the Super Bowl. So it hasn't always been a blueprint to go and grab an elite running back and you'll start winning games. But if the Chiefs
need something, though.
If the Chiefs have all the other pieces and this is something that's really letting them down, then maybe a Breece Hall does help that offense take it to the next level, which is probably what they need at the moment because the defense is still playing quite well.
Yeah.
They've got
top 7 for yards conceded.
Points against. I'm not sure what they are altogether.
They are 4th
in the AFC in the league.
4th
there
in the
you
league.
go. And mind you, they do have a game in hand, so they'll play an extra game, so that will probably pump them up a little bit. But
no, that's points per game.
Oh, points per game against. Yeah, right. 4th in the league. So the defense is rolling. So the offense just needs to make this work. So they're not far off. And the games they're losing, okay, so what do we see? 3 points to the Broncos,
Touchdown
7 points to the Bills. So they're all every game they've lost is a one-score game.
That Jags loss is the one.
So we saw this last year. This was the other way around, wasn't it? Every game they were winning was a one-score.
This is the difference.
Was a one-score game. So now they're the same team. They're just losing those one-score games.
Well, let's give credit to the Broncos because I could have said that they were the team that have surprised me the most. I expected them to have, I think, a good year, but not this good. 8 wins in a row, very similar season to the Pats. They haven't been...
He picked him to win the division.
Oh, there you go. Well done, Hawley. Well done.
Good on me. Did I?
You forgot that, didn't you?
So many predictions.
You make a lot. You make about 5 a week.
They eventually come through.
I wouldn't say they're absolutely flying on offense, Dos. There's a few things every week that you look at and go, oh, okay. Are we gelling
they don't
perfectly?
Need to, though. That's
I know.
The thing.
This is the thing. They keep winning football games because of their overall package.
And their defense.
That's right. I mean, the defense, without the reigning defensive player of the year at the moment, and Pat Surtain, who will come back in hopefully in the next couple of weeks. It's awesome defense to watch. This was a team that I thought coming into the season had the best defense on paper.
Yep.
And they're on world record sack numbers again after dominating the league last year in the same stat. There's not really a weakness on the defensive side of the ball for this team. And offensively, Bo Nix, all he has to do is not turn the ball over, make a couple of big-time throws, as he did yesterday to Troy Franklin and to Cortland Sutton. They get a couple of punt returns from Marvin Mims that puts them in good field position. And because the defense is playing as well as they are, that's all they need.
Yeah.
They just need, a good special teams unit, which they have, and just a couple of big plays here and there. They don't need Bo Nix to be throwing the ball 40 times a game and having 300-400 passing yards a game. That offense isn't structured and built that way. The offensive line was really good last year. It's played pretty consistently again this year, and they're in a great spot. They've got a 2-1 divisional record. The Chargers are in a good spot they've got a 3-0 divisional record currently. So if you want to look at it from that perspective, they're 2 games back, but they've beaten everyone in their division. But the Broncos, I can't see them. They got a tough sort of schedule, I think, to finish, Hawley. They got the Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Commanders away, but there's probably only really a couple of tricky ones in there. Outside of that, they're in a really good spot to win 13 games this season.
It's an important point you make about the Broncos and having other receivers this year. It's not just Cortland Sutton. Troy Franklin in his rookie year last year had 260 yards, 2 touchdowns for the year. He's already passed 500 and had 5 touchdowns. So if you extrapolate that out across the year, he's tripled at least his production. So they've got other guys. Marvin Mims contributes as well. So it's not just a one-horse
Bryant
race.
shows up.
Pat Bryant, he's showing a bit. That's right.
Don't underestimate the loss of J.K. Dobbins, fellas.
Don't underestimate it.
He was carrying this team on his shoulders.
He was. R.J. Harvey stepping up?
Well, he hasn't yet.
He struggled yesterday.
Yeah.
But again, against a very good Chiefs defense, right?
Yep.
So, the fact that they I shouldn't say that. They deserved to win that game yesterday because I thought on all sides of the ball that they outplayed the Chiefs. It was a defensive slogfest, which I thought it would be. And, Broncos fans are very much booking tickets for playoffs because
I
they're in
think
a great
the
spot.
biggest win for Denver over the weekend was the Chargers losing and getting blown out because Denver won a close one, fantastic win against the Chiefs, but now they're 2 games clear of the Chargers, who I don't think anyone thought the Chargers were losing to the Jags. I didn't.
No.
They're only a 2.5 point favorite on the road.
Only 2.5 points. I was pretty confident the Chargers wouldn't lose 35-6.
No, I was pretty confident. The way they lost, I think, is probably.
I was pretty confident.
Yeah,
Herbert's actually had. I know he hasn't had a lot of protection, but his last month to 5 weeks has actually been pretty good.
He's had a good season. The Giants' loss was a bad one, and yesterday's loss was bad. But outside of that, considering he's got no offensive line at the moment, the running back room is decimated. And injuries on to other offensive players. He's had a really good season, but it's just those 2 bad losses to the Giants and the Jags has probably hurt his MVP discussion chat.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Was he really in that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those 2 bad losses.
Been okay.
It's
been okay. If he had a couple of really good games, then you'd start to talk about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, you're a hater on him, and there are others that listen to this podcast that I know I'm going to cop grief for saying that he should have been prior to this game in the MVP conversation.
He's a divisive player when it comes to that. Let's wrap the AFC stuff by saying our current Super Bowl prediction or a Super Bowl team to make the Super Bowl from the AFC. Now, you boys said the Bills at the start of the year. I embarrassingly said the Bengals. That's not going to happen. Are you guys?
It's only embarrassing. Yeah, that's more unlucky.
Yeah.
But also, I mean,
defense.
Their defense. I said the same thing about them, didn't I? I said they'd be in the Super Bowl.
No, you said Bills.
Oh, I said Bills.
You both
Dallas.
said Bills. So are you sticking with the Bills? Because I tell you, that's who I'm changing my prediction to.
Oh, I can't. I have to go with my boys, the Pats.
Yep.
I have to be biased, obviously.
I think you do.
I am staying with the Bills.
Staying with the Bills. All right, so we've still got 2 Bills, but Hawley has changed to the Pats. Let's go to the NFC.
Imagine if the Pats are there.
Yeah, so good. Pats beat the Chiefs in the championship game. That won't happen because the Chiefs won't be there. That's why. The NFC. Now, the NFC started the season very, very strong. We have a stat on the ticker that shows the overall wins for the NFC and the AFC. They still lead. They still have a better record. But about 4 or 5 weeks ago, they were blowing it out. And it's just started to even up as it does across the season. Let's go to the NFC East. The Eagles are 8-2, the defending Super Bowl champions. They are the only contender. They've pretty much wrapped up this division already. The Cowboys 3-5-1. They got the second worst defense in the league for points per game. The Commanders 3-8. We know the devastating injury toll they've had with Jaden Daniels and co. And the Giants at 2-9. I'm going to start there because they're my team that has disappointed me this year. Remember my gutsy call way back in July was that I think they have the makings of a good defense if they can finally improve there.
Top 5 defense, I think.
Top 5 defense. And Jackson Dart has shown some good things, some bad things, but overall we've been encouraged, I think, from his rookie season. Yeah. Same with Scadaboo before the injury. So there was some progress at least there on offense, and then they lost neighbours injury-wise, etc. So we know the factors that have hurt that. The defense had to improve. I said they could, with these additions, with Abdul Carter, with the players have added to the secondary, Javon Holland, Paulson Adebo, they could become a top 5 defense. Well, they're the top 29 defense in the league.
They've allowed the most points in the NFC.
Yep, and 29th most in the league. 29th least.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
In the league.
Yeah.
Or fourth most.
Terrible. Point being, they've been terrible.
Yep.
They have been leaking points. Not even leaking points. They just opened the faucet and let it run free. So there's no improvement there. In fact, they're worse. And they have this terrible trait of, we've said it a million times, just losing games that they should not be losing. They're mentally fragile.
Quarter,
Fired Daboll, and there was no difference this year. So they've been the team that's disappointed me. I really want this team to show something because the league's more interesting when the Giants are playing well. But it's not happening. I think it is, because they got a history
it's just a big market.
Exactly, yeah.
It'll be fun next year if we've got Dart and Scatterbo fit. Those two
Neighbours, Malik Neighbours.
And Neighbours fit. Those two that I mentioned first seem to just have this nice, fun relationship.
Sure.
And I'm sure you throw Malik Neighbours in there, we're not going to complain. And they're going to have an early draft pick, whether they use that offensively. I imagine
I'm sure they'll nail that again.
they probably need to use that defensively after what we've just spoken about.
Were we talking off air about Abdul Carter? That was off air, wasn't it? Half a sack, and he's just what he got in trouble for, Doc?
Well, he slept through a training session.
Through a training session? Are you talking like a
meeting or a
team
training session?
meeting?
I was going to say, if you're just sleeping during reps, you've got a medical problem.
Someone else through the week was dropped, was inactive because of that.
Yes, I did see that. Who was in trouble for disciplinary reasons? Can't remember.
But anyway, yes, so Abdul
Good insight
Carter.
from us there.
Apparently,
someone else got in trouble this week, guys. I'm glad you couldn't remember either because you would have had a crack at me like, good work, Chris.
You still going on the Giants there, Dosso? Should we? Let's move on from the Giants.
Philly win the
more
East.
deserving teams to talk about.
Philly are going to win the East by a mile. They could rest all of their starters the rest of the year and probably still.
Yep.
Well, it'll be down to seedings because I want the 1 seed and they're in that close battle with the Rams.
Obviously.
But they have the tiebreaker against the Rams. So keep that in mind for seeding perspective. But they will, Lane Johnson, injury. Liz Frank.
Yes.
Which is, it's not the same. J.K. Dobbins is out for the season with the Liz Frank. He had surgery. Lane Johnson, they're saying 4 to 6 weeks at the moment. So that's taking you close to the end of the regular season.
Yep.
Big loss that'll be for the Eagles O-line. But, defensively at the moment, they're just grounding teams.
They are.
Shut down the Lions offense, shut down the Green Bay offense, and their offense isn't playing nowhere near the level that it was last year. But if it can get to somewhat close to the level it did last year, then it's a wrap in the NFC. They'll be marching towards the NFC Championship game.
They're playing some real dirty, boring games.
Yeah.
Like, they're so boring to watch because they can't get anything going offensively. But
if you appreciate defense, it's good to watch.
Obviously, defense wins championships,
Yeah.
right?
But Chris does not appreciate it.
I do not. My betting account and my fantasy teams hate it. But they've won 10-7, 16-9.
All of his bets are based on offense.
Yeah, they are. They are. Well, it's exciting. No one wants to bet on the unders, are they? But 10-7 against the Packers, 16-9
every over every week, all 16.
Over.
Pretty much.
Overs.
So Nugget and I do.
Prop lines.
Our $25 per week bets are not doing very well.
Receiving yards, over.
But if you want to watch a good game of football, don't watch good game of offense, don't watch the Eagles at the moment.
All right. Keon Coleman was the other player who was in trouble for disciplinary reasons.
There you go.
His third benching in 2 years. Speaking of sleeping, his alarm clock didn't wake him and he missed a team meeting. When you say Abdul Carter slept through a team meeting, do you mean he was at home asleep and didn't rock up in time, or he was in the meeting and fell asleep?
I think he
wasn't there.
At home.
It was way funnier when I thought he fell asleep in the meeting.
He wasn't there.
Okay, well, same thing. Boys, alarm clock, sorted out. That's the NFC East. No one else is really contending there. The NFC North. What an interesting division.
I know you rattled on. Can we talk about Washington for a second?
If you want to.
Did you have Washington as one of your disappointing teams?
Are they your disappointing team?
One of.
How many you got?
About 4.
Go on.
Quickly. No, well, let's just. I mean, NFC Championship game last season, 12-5.
Yeah.
They've lost 6 in a row. Now, I thought they'd only probably win 10 games this season. I thought they'd regress back a little bit. I don't think they'd probably play at the level that they did last season. Remember, they had the 4th down conversion, 87% last season, which was the best ever.
What is it this year?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's nowhere near that. And that was without quarterback sneaks as well. With that, that's that. But their off season was odd. Like, they re-signed a lot of the veterans who sort of, back on 1-year deals again. They brought in Laramie Tunsil on the trade. They brought in Deebo Samuel, which at the time, like, you can understand it. Their draft picks really haven't sort of shone this season so far. The Terry McLaurin holdout, which was, bad. And he's had the quad injury for pretty much the whole season. And when he has played, he's hardly been cited.
Is that your disappointing player? Is that who you're going to have for your disappointing player?
Yeah, he's my disappointing player.
Yeah, there's no surprises.
Do we do that now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go on.
Well, it's the first time I've drafted in fantasy football because of your mate over here.
Got seduced.
I got seduced by Doss. He's only played, he's managed to take the field 4 times. He's had 13 catches, a TD. He's 30, which is kind of on that level of, that it always is when you hit 30, it's kind of, all right, now you're on the other side. And I'm starting to sense maybe, because a lot of them, they're soft tissue injuries, which when you hit 30, 31, that's what starts to get you. They're not impact, like he hasn't done a shoulder or a knee or anything like that, which you can recover from. But the soft tissues, when you get to 30, start to hurt you a little bit. So he's one that he's supposed to be their wide receiver one. And I think that's a lot of the reason the Commanders, they just can't get it moving on offense because their contested guy is not out there. So Terry needs to, I don't know what he's looking at for the rest of the season, Doss.
I think not much point now.
That's right. I think they said on the week last week he was training with some strength conditioning staff on the side.
They're 3-8.
There's probably a good reason to bench him for the year, get him ready for next off season, and hope they can get another year or 2 out of him.
All right, let's keep moving to
go back.
A very interesting division, the NFC North. The Bears are 7-3, boys. We were surprised at 6-3 last week. We're even more surprised at 7-3 because they lead the NFC North. Doss, they lead the NFC North. Your Packers are being beaten by the Bears. Packers are 6-3-1. The Lions are 6-4. The Vikings are technically still in it at 4-6, but this JJ McCarthy season has been pretty bad. It's not been
when he's played.
Yeah, when he's played, he's been poor. 5 games, JJ McCarthy, 52% completion, 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, and a passer rating of 61.7. I know it's not all statistics, but he hasn't looked great despite outside of that, early comeback win.
Just hasn't been a consistent rhythm with JJ McCarthy in the passing game. There's times where he should throw it, he hardly throws it. He's overthrowing and underthrowing a lot. Doesn't have the connection with his receivers. I don't know why Justin Jefferson isn't getting thrown the ball.
It's a little odd.
Cannot understand it. He had his frustration on the weekend. There was a clip of that. But that was more the fact that he actually dropped a pass as opposed to not getting the targets. But, this was a team that were 15 wins last year.
Yep.
The 14 wins, 15 wins. The Vikings and really the only major change has been at quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I said.
If they want
and then outside of the offensive line, which has been injured for most of the year, but it's not at the moment.
If they won a playoff game, would they have kept him?
Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would have.
So it comes down to one blimp in the season. They decide.
Blip.
That's the second time you referenced the blimp today.
Have I? No, have I said blip again today?
You said blimp.
Oh, I didn't even realize I'd said it twice already today. If he hadn't lost that game, they keep him.
Yeah.
And that's so one little mistake throughout the season, and they decide, we're going to go with our unproven quarterback.
But there was that discussion. There was the discussion late in the year that if they don't win a playoff, they'll move on from Darnold. Even when they were 14-1.
It was the Lions' loss where they lost the division, which was the last game, and then the beat down by the Rams where he got sacked 9 times.
You guys know my position. I was always Team Darnold. I never thought they should have gotten rid of him. But here's a little bit of justice. Let's talk another quarterback though it's statistically you look at it and go, not too bad. But Jordan Love is not doing it for me at the moment. He is a player that I thought things would have clicked a little more for him and this Green Bay offense. And there are too many moments this year, Dos, that he's been left wanting. There are some bad missed throws. There's some miscommunication between him and receivers in crucial moments. They've got a good record and they'll play playoffs, I'm sure. But I don't know. I'm just not convinced about Jordan Love's season or this whole Packers operation. So why don't we break that down?
Yeah, offensively, I've had concern outside of the Steelers game, which really was the second half of that game, if we're honest about it, has been a concern this season. Yes, there's been receivers that have been in and out and missing. They haven't had their full complement of players or weapons for the whole year. But there's some bad games in there. The Cleveland Browns game was a bad game for Jordan Love. Dumb decision where he threw the interception that then subsequently gave Cleveland good field position where they could just run the ball in. After dominating on defense, the Carolina game as well was another bad game.
Yep.
The Giants game, he came out of this game for a bit on the weekend. He got hit. Malik Willis came into the game. And again, as Malik Willis does, did a pretty good job when he was on the field. Made some plays.
He does.
And he just shows up when needed to. And credit to him because it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
As a backup quarterback. Defensively, I believe in this team. Offensively, the play calling this season from Matt LaFleur, again, has been inconsistent. Was really good in week 1 against the Lions. And there's been patches and moments where it's been good. But then there's just been games where it's been bad, especially against bad teams that they should be beating, where defensively they're actually holding those teams to under 20 points and just not getting it done on the offensive side of the ball. Josh Jacobs is now banged up with a week-to-week with a knee injury. So we'll see how that impacts and maybe that'll force Jordan Love to just throw the ball a bit more. He's got a cannon of an arm and the play calling is just not utilizing it. And I was so happy to see that Christian Watson had a really good game on the weekend back from injury because he was the deep threat and Jordan Love threw it to him and put him in positions where Christian Watson can make plays. And that's exactly what needs to be done on this offense. Tucker Kraft, the ACL, that hurts.
Yeah.
Right, because he was playing at an awesome level he was Jordan Love's bailout player this season. The yards after the catch were phenomenal. So you take him out, that then leaves you at a big gap at tight end.
You right there, Hawley?
Yeah. Could we take a break?
Hey?
Could we just take a quick break?
Yeah, sure. And we're back. Sometimes duty calls, boys. That's all right. Now, let's keep rolling with the NFC North. The Bears, 7-3. They've got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Really tough schedule. Are they actually going to win this division or not? Because the Lions are there lurking. Let's have a look at who they're playing. The Bears have got the Steelers, the Eagles, the Packers, the Browns, the Packers, the 49ers, the Lions. I predict a comeback to the pack, but I don't know who wins this division. Very quickly, Dos.
Well, I didn't have the Bears anywhere near the top of the NFC North coming into this season. I thought they'd win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be pretty competitive, just on the fringe of the wild card. But yeah, 7-3 record, like you mentioned, with a -3 point differential, which is not something that you see very often. Caleb Williams, 17th for EPA per play this season, but only the 4 interceptions which they're not turning the ball over. They've got a top 5 run offense on the back of solid offensive line play and the investments that they made in the offseason, which we've spoken about previously. The defense, though, leads the league in takeaways. Kevin Byard, 5 interceptions this season. Tremaine Edmonds, he's second for interceptions this season. The defense is getting those takeaways, but if you actually look into the metrics, they're a bottom 10 run defense and a bottom 10 pass defense as well. So
they just jump out every now and then for getting the ball back.
Like, I had a Bears fan at work yesterday come to me and he said, "We got the win. This is Scotty. We got the win, but it was ugly and we did not play well in that game at all."
Holy, did you see? I mentioned this on the sports show last night. It really annoyed me what Caleb did, and I've been a Caleb defender. They win the game, and as he's walking on to shake, his opponent's hand, he's doing this, and I said this to James, doing this like fake angry shake of the head as if to show like, yeah, we won, but it's not good enough. It's like, dude, you guys have hardly won anything for ages, and you've been part of the problem. Don't pretend that this win's not good enough
like
for you.
He's a Pro Bowler, All-Star Hall of Fame.
We got to be better,
They're very lucky to be where they are, and it's surprising. We talked about the Steelers being 6-4, and we're like, how the Steelers 6-4? Didn't even realize these guys are the same. You just look over and you think, oh, Chicago is 7-3 and making a really good run at it. But as you mentioned, their schedule is pretty tough to finish off. They play the Steelers, albeit at home. Then they've got the Eagles away, the Packers away, Packers at home, Niners away, Lions at home. So that 7-3 could easily turn into a 9-8. And
gutsy call.
Green Bay and Detroit come back to the pack.
Gutsy call. Chicago 8-9.
I'll say Chicago 9-8 if that's gutsy enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, you think it's?
I think they'll beat the Browns.
Yep. And they'll win one more.
Other than that, they have to beat the Steelers this week to finish with 9 wins, I reckon, because I don't think they beat the Eagles, the Packers twice, the Niners, or the Lions.
I may live to regret this, but I cannot see them winning the division. I still can't.
No, I don't think they'll win the division.
Not from here.
Pick it. Lions, Packers. Who wins the division?
Well, I'm going to go Green Bay still because that was my pick at the start of the season.
I'll go Detroit then just to...
Yeah, they're not humming either. We haven't talked much about them, but they're not quite there at the moment. Come on, Lions, pick this up. NFC South, the Bucs. This is a team that's not quite there at the moment. Yes, they lead the division at 6-4, but they've lost 3 out of their last 4. And then you got the Panthers, who, speaking of teams hard to read, they're 6-5. They're up and down. Young just broke that record. Rico Dowdle is my player who has surprised us, boys, because he's come out of nowhere. 788 yards, 5 touchdowns. He took over from Chuba Hubbard, who had a great year last year for the Panthers. So he's at times looked like the best running back in the league, Rico. If you watch him against his old team in Dallas anyway, he looked unbelievable that game, and he's had a few big games. He's really added to this offense. So they're still a team that's young and developing in some ways, the Panthers, but they're in this now. They're 6-5. The Bucs are 6-4. I still see the Bucs winning it, but injury problems, a little bit of form, a little bit of flow and rhythm that's missing from Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah, injuries have killed Tampa this season. The start of the season, they were able to cover, but it's really starting to add up now. The offensive line is banged up. The receiving core hasn't been together at all. Bucky Irving has missed a lot of the season. Chris Godwin's missed a lot of the season as well. So they're 6-4, hanging on, like you mentioned. Man, they were right in that game though against New England, and they were also right in it against Buffalo on the road. They pushed the Bills in that game. It looked like at one point they were going to cause an upset on the road. I think you're right. I would still back Tampa to win this division from here. But what, Carolina are hanging around, and they've not been convincing at all. I still don't know which Carolina's going to show up week to week.
No.
Atlanta have been terribly disappointing this season, considering that they've really had most of their team available for most of the season, from a health perspective, right?
Well, 3-7 now. Penix and London, we don't think will play. Well, they won't play for the rest of the year. And the Saints are 2-8. But holy, if the season ended right now, the Carolina Panthers are playing playoffs.
They are playing playoffs right now.
Yep.
Yeah, you're correct. I think Tampa still sorted out. It depends on if they get their guys back. We don't really know what's going on with Bucky. A couple of weeks ago, they said he was a couple of weeks away, and then he's not practicing. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they just need to get some offense together. The good thing about it is if they do get some of these guys back and they can get 2 or 3 weeks in towards the end of the season, they're actually going to be really fresh come playoffs. They haven't played 15, 16 games and they're tired or sore. They've played 3 games. They've got their match fitness. They're back. They're ready. And they're actually feeling good and ready to go come playoffs. But they need to get these guys back and they need to be healthy, which at the moment is looking like a unlikely event.
We're going to talk MVP in just a second, and I'm interested to see if Baker is still in it for Doss's prediction.
Also, just on Rico.
Yes.
Whilst it is quite a surprise how well he's playing to a lot of people, he finished last year at Dallas really, really well.
Yeah, he had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he had 1,000 yards, but he had over 500 of them in the last 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks.
It was a real Rashad Penny end of the year, wasn't it?
Well, when he actually started to lead the backfield, the start of the year, he was having 8, 7, 8, 11, 5, 12, 12, 10 carries.
Yep.
But towards the end of the year, he started to have like proper carries, 19, 22, 18, 25, 23, 22, and he was clearing 100 yards in every game. So he actually started to play really, really well and run the ball really well. So whilst it's a surprise to many that he is putting up some big, like the numbers he's putting up are ridiculous.
Yeah, but when he gets the chance, he performs.
When he gets the chance, he performs. So I think it's a great addition by Carolina by Carolina at the start of the year.
It is indeed.
Smart move.
Let's finish with the NFC West, the last division to talk about. The Rams are 8-2, led by Matt Stafford having a career year. The Seahawks are 7-3. A couple of wobbles, but still a good team. The 49ers are 7-4, and the Cardinals are out of it with 3-7. Boys, this is a tough division to pick. We know the Rams got the win over the Seahawks. They're the favourites from here because of the record and that win. Are you convinced that they are the NFC favourite, or is there another team in the NFC that you think is better, Doss?
For mine right now, the Rams are my number one.
You choose them over the Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because just from what I saw yesterday defensively, and I know the Eagles are very good defensively, but offensively, the Rams can turn it on as well. The run game isn't great at the moment, hasn't been effective this season. But Matt Stafford is just playing on an unreal level this year. It was quietish yesterday, but again, you're coming up against a Seahawks defense that's very, very good as well. And yesterday, people will say, yeah, this was coming in, we thought would be the game of the season. And defensively, it was. You know, both teams were able to create, well, you look at the Rams, 4 turnovers on interceptions on Sam Darnold, who had his worst game of the season, but both defenses were awesome in this game, and it's really exciting to see if you're a Rams fan being 8-2, sitting top of the division with a 2-1 divisional record. 49ers have got a 4-1 divisional record just quietly.
Wow.
And they're only they haven't had their bye yet. They've played their 11 games, so they're actually in a good spot too when you look at it from that perspective.
Yep.
And getting bodies back, important players back. But if I'm right now, I would pick the Rams just for that consistency on both sides of the ball and the coaching of Sean McVay are back over Nick Sirianni right at the moment.
Jimbo, can you please look up NFL playoff picture and get that graphic up on the screen, because that shows us where some of these divisions are at. It is really interesting in the NFC in particular. Obviously, you've got the divisional leaders. If you have scrolled down, so the Rams lead the division, but if you go down to positions 5, or just go up a little bit, 5 the Seahawks, and then 7 the 49ers. So at the moment, the NFC West has 3 teams in the playoffs, and that realistically could finish there. Next behind them is the Lions, who miss playoffs at the moment. They're down 5 spots this week after that loss. Sorry, I was wrong. The Panthers are not in playoffs at the moment. I thought they were. I saw a graphic. Maybe that was
maybe last week.
Maybe last week or the week before. Okay, well, so I was wrong. The Panthers are not in playoffs as it stands at the moment. They're being squeezed out by this NFC West. So super interesting because then there's a 2-game gap from the Panthers to the Vikings. So it looks like a race in 9 at the moment. And then if you go to the AFC side, you've got the Jags in 7th at 6-4. And then you've got a whole bunch of teams, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Ravens at 5-5. So it's always tight around this time of year. These next few weeks will really sort some things out.
I think Thanksgiving's usually the line. That's
where
where we start looking at it from there on.
I think we might see a little drop off from the Seahawks as well. They had the second easiest schedule up to this point of the year, and now they're rolling into the third hardest schedule for the rest of the year. So
you're turning into DOS with your strength of schedule, love.
Yeah, well, I need it for my sleeper stuff. I need to make sure I pick the right guys that are going to play well for the rest of the year. The other point on the Rams is what frustrated me on the weekend, and I was texting Doss about it a little bit, is Kyren Williams' first quarter was unbelievable. He had a heap of yards, I think 70-something yards, a TD, and then didn't touch the ball again until the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They only had one possession in the second, and the third quarter used Blake Karam, and then in the last quarter they kind of shared it between Blake and Kyren. Kyren ended up with, I think, 10 to 12 touches for 90 yards and a TD. Blake ended up with 9 touches for 5 yards altogether, or 10 touches for 5 yards all up.
10 touches for 5 yards.
So I think he had 9 carries for 9 yards and 1 reception for -5 yards, or 9 for 10, something like that. So I want to see them give Kyren more of the ball. I don't know if they're holding him for playoffs because, you don't want to smash these running backs.
Yep.
But I'd like to see Kyren Williams to go more of a 75%, 25% touch share because I think he's the more explosive back. He's the guy that is going to create more for your offense. That first drive, he went, I think it was a 32 and a 34-yard run and then pumped in a TD. After that, he didn't touch the ball for 2 quarters. So that, for me, doesn't make sense. But also, the Rams are winning. They know what they're doing. Stafford's throwing the ball well.
To me, it does make some sense. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, yes, it's frustrating. But I would argue that if they're still winning games, and they are, they're 8-2.
Do you want a running back who's, I mean, this was only on the weekend, but Blake ran 9 times for 10 yards.
Well, of course, you don't want that, but you also don't want your star running back to be injured.
Having 10, and you're right. He's only running the ball 10 or 12 times a week. Yeah. Come playoffs, you can say, hey, all right, let's pump him up to 20, 22 times a week because we've only got 4 games, hopefully.
That was better because I remember last year, Kyren Williams was getting a lot of carries and doing a lot of work. He was doing too much. He was getting like 20, 25 carries and that's was way too much.
If they ended up losing on the weekend, I would have been pretty upset. I would have said, hey, you guys lost because you couldn't get enough going on offense, and that is because you were running with a running back who was going at 1 yard per carry while you had one on the bench that was going at 10 yards per carry.
Is Sean McVay officially on notice?
I would put him on notice.
All right, Super Bowl. Who's our team from the NFC, boys? Because preseason, Doss, you predicted the Packers. I predicted the Lions. Hawley, you predicted the Cowboys. And we all had the NFC teams winning the Super Bowl. So the Bills play who, Doss, in the Super Bowl from now?
You know what? I'm going to stay with my prediction. I'm going to stay with Green Bay.
Okay. And who wins?
Oh, wow. We're going to pick Super Bowl winners as well.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with Green Bay.
That's
Philly.
Philly?
I think Philly wins.
So you've got Pats
as well.
and Philadelphia win.
I think I'm going to be upset on Super Bowl day.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I've got the Bills and I've got the Rams. And I've got the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
I probably should have the Rams.
Pick, is it?
MVP predictions. I chose Lamar Jackson. That won't happen. Hawley, you chose Joe Burrow. That won't happen. Doss, you chose Baker Mayfield. And that was looking fantastic a few weeks ago. And it still might happen. Do you stick with Baker for your MVP?
Well, after week 7, I did my top 5. And the order of that was Mayfield 1, Stafford 2, Darnold 3, Daniel Jones 4, Mahomes was 5.
Yeah.
That was after week 7. Right now, I've got Stafford as my 1. And then if we want to go down again, then it's probably into Drake May, and then it's probably Josh Allen at 3 now.
Matt Stafford's stats, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, throwing at 112 passer rating.
Yeah.
He has been sensational. He's got to be the MVP favorite right now.
Yeah, only Jalen Hurts with 1 interception is less. But
he's produced more though, Stafford.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's thrown the ball a lot more than what Jalen Hurts has thrown it. 5th for passing yards. The record, obviously, 8-2. And the passing game has been heavily lent on in LA this season. We just spoke about the run game, right? And and the lack of production there. So, Matt Stafford right now is my number 1 MVP.
Look, if it was a fair award, Jonathan Taylor's been the best player. He's been the best player in the league. Yep. I think he's probably been. I'd have him as my number 1 and Christian McCaffrey as my 2nd best player in the league to date. But they are just not eligible for MVP for whatever reason.
So who would you pick?
It probably has to be either Staff or Drake May at the moment.
Drake May?
One of the two, yeah. Okay. You look at Drake May's stats and Stafford is there, Drake May is there statistically. So,
and we know how much the last 4 weeks of the season contributes to.
Correct.
That last month.
We did this, I remember 2 seasons ago when well, not specifically this, but Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy were the MVP favourites.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Lamar Jackson
That's
came
right.
in and they smacked the 49ers in that game. I think it was around Christmas or Boxing Day.
But Brock won our MVP. It was a flawed system, but he still won it.
Yeah, with the 10-1 voting. And then last year, Josh Allen, it was pretty much him and Lamar were toe-to-toe all year, really. So it can change last month, in this last 6 weeks coming into Thanksgiving and the rest of the season. It can certainly change a lot. I mean, you go back, went through that order only, 3-4 weeks ago, and how much that's changed now.
Is Paddy a chance if the Chiefs come home strong just because he's Paddy?
They would have to win out, and he would have to
play lights out.
And to do it.
They might scrape into playoffs. There's no miracles coming from the Chiefs this year. Jimbo, let's look at Week 12 because we're going to do our no-brainers very, very quickly. Week 12 NFL fixture. We need to pick 4, and boys, it's been a long episode, so let's go through this because we need a joke from Chris Hall. We really need a joke from Chris Hall. All right. I won't need my glasses on today, Jimbo. I'm going to go through it on my
Texans
screen here. We've got Bills at
Texans.
Let's not lock that just yet. Colts, Chiefs, that's a cracker. Seahawks at Titans. Let's lock that.
Yes.
That's one. That's one no-brainer. We pick 4 a week. Vikings at Packers. We can't do that, I don't think. Jets at Ravens. No-brainer for the Ravens.
Ravens will win.
All right, so we've got the Seahawks and the Ravens so far. Giants at Lions.
Who's QB down in... I think you have to probably go Detroit, don't you?
Lions at home.
Yep. All right. This is easy so far, it seems. Seahawks, Ravens, Giants. Steelers at Bears. We can't do that. Pats at Bengals. Let's come back to that.
Yeah, you'd back Pats, but Cincy could put up 35 points and do something silly.
Browns at Ravens, no. Jags at Cardinals, no. Eagles at Cowboys, no.
Oof.
Falcons at Saints, no.
No. Oh.
Nah. Bucs at Rams, no. 49ers at Panthers. Wouldn't have thought so. We've got to go the Pats, don't we?
I think maybe it's the Pats.
All right. Pats over Bengals. Ravens over Jets. Lions over Giants. Seahawks over Titans.
Your Pats won their week 1 last season. With
when
Jacoby
when they were
Brissett
bad.
as quarterback.
And Gerard Mayo.
Look at Jacoby now. Jacoby's on fire now.
He's gotten better.
They're not winning, but he's
Brissett
putting
couldn't
up points.
throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field for New England last season, and now he's just throwing dimes all over the place.
All right, Hawley.
Okay. Dos, stop cheating. What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts? A barbecue.
It's not even a goodie. It's not even a goodie.
Not bad.
Well done, Ollie.
It's what we need.
Brought to you by
enough.
Coast and Smoke.
Hey, nice one, Jim.
Good one, Jim.
Dos, we get the emoji. What's the emoji for today? If you've made it to the end of the episode and you're going to comment on Spotify or...
Craig sent me an eggplant last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he commented.
All right, Hawley wanted the eggplant. Let's do the eggplant. You can do the peach next week, Dos. If you want.
Sure, okay.
That's been working. People are doing it on Spotify and YouTube,
Yeah.
so keep that up. If you've made it to the end of the episode, we want to see it.
Thank you if you have made it to the end of the episode.
Yeah, great job.
Well.
Great job.
Best part of the episode.
It is indeed. All right. Just a reminder, subscribe on YouTube to the Muscle Cat Sports Show because we do have that Ashes watch along this Saturday night for those cricket fans. The boys might be here. We'll sort that out afterwards.
Maybe.
So, yeah, that'd be good if you come. No pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You can win $210 worth of trading cards thanks to Sports Card World. And of course, all the socials for Outback QB Podcast. Just look up Outback QB Podcast, TikTok, Insta, YouTube. Hit subscribe here if you haven't already. And we'll see you all next week.